Hello, family and friends. Welcome to another section of my short videos today. I hope your day has been very nice. Incidentally, my sister came to visit me in the United Kingdom, and you need to watch out for the welcoming moment. You know, there are billions of people all over the world. Yeah, but blood is thicker than water. I tell you, that moment, that surreal moment, when I saw my sister, my blood sister, who is my elder sister, that the same uterus incubated us. The moment I saw her as Terminal 3, Heathrow Airport, United Kingdom, that moment is amazing. I busted into tears. I can't imagine it. I was so moved that I couldn't help it. I'm telling you, I couldn't help it. It's a surreal moment. And we are here together in York, and it's a wonderful moment. It's a nice time in York, being with her in York. She's here to have some nice time with me, catch up with me, and have a nice time with me. It's been a long while I saw her. The last time I saw her was September, was maybe about 2-3 years ago. Even when I was in Nigeria, I didn't have access to her. It's been a while I saw her. And today, what am I sharing with you? I'm sharing with you what I called three-sidedness of any story. Have you ever heard about someone talking about a story before? Maybe an incident that happened between two people, three people, group of people, and you will see if people have to relate to you the same story, you will see the stories are usually different. And if you want to lose the message therein in any story, just let the story pass from one person to another, and before you know it, the real message in that story will be gone. What you will be having later on is nothing but a twisted version of the story. And you want me to be candid with you, I've gotten to hear a lot of twisted story, and I can tell you, twisted story cause nothing but damage to people. I can assure you, when people tell twisted story, people are damaged. A lot of havoc are caused, a lot of damages caused, and I can assure you that irreversible damage can be caused by a twisted story. And you need to listen carefully to hear if someone is telling a twisted story, and you need high level of discernment to be able to know if someone is telling a story. But I'm going to come down today on what I call three-sidedness of any story in between two people. For any story you might have heard of, there are three-sidedness of that story. And I'm going to divide them into two parts, even though they are both three-sidedness. The first side is what I call your side of the story. That is the side that you talk about, you talk it the way it pleases you. And the other side is what I call their side of the story. So that means they talk about the story based on their own perspective side. And the top part of the story is what I call the true side of the story. And if I still want to divide it in a way that the Lord has been making me to understand life in general, you know, the essence of my live video is I'm sharing with you my interaction with humanity, my interaction with God, and what He has taught me in the couple of years that I've been interacting with God. And it made me realize, He said, Oriomi, there are three-sidedness of any story. I said, what? Do you want to expatiate on it? Do you want to tell me more on it? Do you want to explain this to me? And He said, the bitterness side of any story. And you know what? When people are talking from bitterness point of view, if you listen carefully, you will know. And the other side, the second side of a story is a healing side of a story. That is, I call a forgiving, or a story that is coming from a heart that has allowed forgiveness to root in them. And the third side of the story is what I call a true reflection of that side of the story, which I also call the true side of the story. So how does this relate? Between two people, the two of them can decide to be talking about the bitter side of the story. That is, your side of the story will be a bitter side of the story, and my side of the story will still be a bitter side of the story. And we can both choose to talk a healing side of the story, meaning we are talking from healing point of view. And when people talk from healing point of view, untold amount of good can be executed. And the third side of the story is what I call the true reflection side of the story. You understand? So if you chose to talk about the true side of the story, most people are welcome. Good to see you online, enjoying yourself. And the true side of the story is what I call, if people were enjoying the truth, if you're talking about the true side of the story, you talk about the story the way it happened. And you want me to be candid with you? There is no human being on the surface of the earth, no human being on the surface of the earth can talk about a story the exact way it happened. No, it's not possible. There is no way you want to talk about a story and you will talk about it the way it happened, unless if the story was captured on camera and they are replaying it back for you. But if that didn't happen, it is very difficult for any human being to talk about a story in a true state in which that story happened. You know why? We are emotional beings. We are emotional beings, and as such, it is very difficult for us to talk about a story exact way it happened. But more often than not, when people talk about a healing side of the story, healing side of the story is what is close to a true reflection of any story. That is, when you are talking about the story, you are not talking from bitterness point of view, but you are talking from the point that shows that you have regenerated, you have actually been transformed, you are looking for a better way, you are looking for relationship, you are looking for how to foster what has been damaged. That is what a healing side of a story we do. But when you're talking from the bitterness side of the story, you are still causing more damage, and you don't pay attention to see that you are causing more damage. And you know what? I wrote something recently, and I said, your listener know where you are talking from. They know the side you sit on. They know the side from which you are talking from, if they have the same spirit. And if you are talking about a story and you are talking from a bitterness point in which you are still causing more damage, people know, even though they may not be allowed to tell you, even though they may not be bold enough to tell you that this story you are talking about, you are still hurting. And you know what I want to tell you? A hurting heart hurts people. There is no two way about it. You can't do anything to that. Hurting heart hurts people. But when you are a heart that has allowed forgiveness to root in you, the way you talk about a story will portray it. And when people that have the same spirit, or people that are intelligent, or people that can see things from a top perspective view, listen to you. Sincerely yours, they will know where you stand. What am I telling you today? As much as possible, this three-sidedness of a story is an offshoot of my previous video on forgiveness. I've done a video on forgiveness, how to forgive people. I've done a video on how to forgive people, and I've done a video on how to know if you have unforgiveness in you. You understand? So that package is about 5-episode package that you can actually listen to on my Facebook page. You can check them. I will drop the link to each of those videos here, so you can click on them and watch it. I beg of you, this life is too short to hold things to heart and believe you can forgive people. This life is too short. As much as possible, try your best. When you want to talk about a story, remove your perspective from it. Allow healing and forgiveness to root in you, such that when you are talking, you are causing more peace and you are not causing more damage. We stand nothing to gain. Like I tell you in the previous video, the first question I keep asking myself is, if I drop dead today, will life continue? And if life will continue, if I drop dead today, then there is no point holding things too much to heart. Let's go. Forgive. If you see my previous video that I talk about the forgiveness, how to know you have unforgiveness towards someone or towards a situation, and how to forgive people or situation, part 1, part 2, and part 3. You will be blessed. I wish you all the best in life, and now pray the Lord Jesus Christ will allow you to get to that level in which you will allow healing to dominate in your life, for you to be able to do as much as possible and talk about any story in a healing form, which is the closest to true reflection of any story. Father, I pray for everyone watching this video. Ribraman kakazati libro kashe de lima. Makakeka igan kazoto regebo ankazati ilibra kazante ligamo. Mazete regeigan kazante. And I pray you will give everyone watching this video to remove their perspective and their feelings from storytelling, that they will be able to cause more influence and affect everyone that cross their way. Thank you. See you later. Bye.